how I stay savagely fit at 35 years old. Welcome back, my friend. I hope you're having a great day. Let's get straight into it. Now, at 35 years old, to me, when I look around, especially amongst my peers, it's extremely rare to see guys my age who can do what I do. Okay, you guys see it, jump the rope, shadow boxing, hitting the heavy bag, moving and groove, up, to have the speed, the explosiveness. Yes, I'm about 5'7", okay, so that kind of helps. And I wouldn't say my metabolism, this and that, but at 35 years old, okay, I have some time on me. I have some, as you can see, I have some wrinkles. I have some wisdom behind the fitness, and I've been able to kind of manage to stay in this zone for a while. Don't just think because I'm a YouTuber that it's easier for me. Understand, I got 3 kids. I got a loving relationship. There's bills. My kids all have different after-school activities. One does Chinese line dancing. The other does cheerleading. My son now is in T-ball. So, I mean, we are busy. There's homework. There's laundry. There's dishes. We got pets, 2 dogs, a cat, a bunny. I mean, it's crazy. Life is extremely busy at my age with the amount of kids I have, with the bills. On top of that, you got to understand that I gotta, not only just me, I gotta feed this family, cooking dinner, breakfast, lunch, making sure they get to school on time, making sure they get picked up, making sure, like I said, homework is done, then they get to their activities on time, shuffling between activities, dealing with traffic. And on top of that, with all of these responsibilities, I'm not like your typical YouTuber where, a lot of these fitness guys, these guys are extremely ripped, they're fit, they have these lifestyles, but they're like single. They got a girlfriend. They don't have as much kids as I have, as much responsibilities as I have. And I don't work out as much as you guys think I do. I'll probably have a little session in the morning, which is really early in the morning, but it doesn't go over like 2 hours. And then I'll have a main block session, which I'll either film or I won't film. But that's about like nothing less than 2 hours. So I'm probably working out 2 hours max, dude. Okay. But in that allotted amount of time, I can get a lot done. And now, I'm gonna give you the secret, okay? This is a secret that I've kind of understood back when I was fighting mixed martial arts. So I was fighting mixed martial arts. You could say this is about 12 years ago already, okay? But I learned it in a book. In the book, it's called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. It's called Hypnotic Rhythm. Okay, before I get into all the physical actions, you got to understand, in the Kabbalion, even in the Bible, it states, everything starts from the mind. In order for me to be in shape the way that I am at 35 years old, while juggling all of these responsibilities, on top of, like controlling my emotions during my diet, you got to understand, sometimes I get triggered when my kids kind of slip up on their homework. We got to be at a certain place at a certain time. We only got like 20 minutes. I got to close up the house, make sure the dogs, everything is set, make sure all the doors are locked. I'm trying to get all the clothes together, making sure the rest of the kids are packed up. And then we got to deal with, I didn't do my homework. I didn't finish this. I'm having a hard time. Oh, Daddy, help me. And, on top of this, like, I'm kind of low-key starving because, I try not to overeat. I don't overdo it. So there's so much to juggle. But understanding this whole situation, everything starts from the mind. In the Kabbalion, the Hermetica, or whatever you want to call it, it says everything is mind, okay? Everything is mind, and everything starts from within. Your mindset is always going to be the determining factor to your body. I've said this before, that your body is a direct reflection of your mind. There's no other way to it. You got to think, in order for me to be fast, it's because my thoughts are fast. In order for me to be strong, it's because my mind is strong. I thought about things, overcoming these obstacles, and thus it made me strong. All I had to do was just implement the action. And this is a point in time in this YouTube channel where you got to understand that I got to peel some things back. I'm not going to be posting too much workouts, this and that, because you guys got the physical. Now it's the mental. I don't want to hide this from you. Everything is a cause and effect. A lot of times, okay, back when I was a fitness trainer, I had my own gym. This was probably about 10 years ago, okay? Let's say at a point I had like 20 solid clients when I was first growing. We all would do the same thing. I kind of ran it like a CrossFit type style format, okay? So like my 20 clients would all do the same thing. But yet 18 of them would get lean, they would get ripped, they would get strong, they would kind of look like me. And yet 2 of them wouldn't get any results. Yet they were with us, this group of 20 people, along with me, because I would do the workouts with them, just to show them, like, this is how it's done, this is what you got to be thinking about, this is how you push through, and just to show them that, I'm never going to give you guys anything that I wouldn't do. So okay, I'm just giving out a number, but 18 people would get the results. They would be fit, they would come ripped, they would be like insanely in shape, yet 2 of them wouldn't kind of see the same results. And I noticed when I talked to them, they had a different mindset. They were always tired. They were always complaining. Even during the workouts, they were the ones moaning and groaning. Oh, oh. The other 18, some of them were extremely hyped. The other part of them would be like, they would kind of suffer in silence, but they wouldn't verbally like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. They wouldn't show up to my gym like, oh, I had this happen, that happened. Oh, like they wouldn't be complaining about anything. But the 2 that didn't get the results that the rest of the group got, their speech patterns, their aura, their mannerism, everything, just their whole mindset was totally different. They were just extremely negative. And that's how I understood that within this hour to 2 hours that I had my clients, I had to do my best to break them down and then kind of like interject myself talking to them. Because after they're gone from my gym, they spend the rest of their day in their head. And a lot of people, my voice transferred over to them. So, they say the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Within that hour, they were with me. I broke them down physically. So that way, the only thing they could kind of hear is my voice and whatever music I was blasting. So whenever they get to that stage during their day, they get stressed out. Everything starts to fatigue. Naturally, my voice would click on. Come on, guys. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. You got this. Easy work. Easy work. Easy work. But the other 2 that didn't have the results, their negative thinking, their self-talk, their just complaining and bitching and rambling, that would override everything. And this is how I understood it all starts in the mind. Now, bringing it back full circle to the book, Outwitting the Devil. In Outwitting the Devil, they have this term called the law of hypnotic rhythm. It's not the law of hypnotic rhythm, but this hypnotic rhythm. When you do one thing, okay, it's you do one thing, you think one thing, then you act upon it. It's like, it's just a standalone situation. But yet you do that, you think that same thought, you do that same action twice. It's slowly going to seep into your subconscious, your unconscious mind. Then when you do it like 3 to 4 times, it gets locked in as a habit. And once this habit gets locked in, it becomes a hypnotic rhythm. It'll either it has to grow. As some people say, every thought that you have is just a seed that you plant into your mind. If you repress your stress or these childhood traumas, this and that, you're just basically pushing these seeds deeper into the dirt, and it has to grow. So hypnotic rhythm states that when you do something more than once, it gets locked in your subconscious, your unconscious mind. So when I look at people's bodies, like as a coach, they tell me stories. Oh, Ches, I do this, I do that. This is why I'm not in shape. But when I look at them, when I look at their body, when I look at how they hold themselves, it's easy to see what they're doing throughout their day. They have like really negative thoughts because they're kind of like slouched like this. They kind of talk like this, like they're kind of slurring. It's easy to read an individual when you understand that the body is just a representation of their mind. When you see a guy like me kind of just like up in the chest, chin out, kind of talking a lot, you can tell I'm kind of, even though I'm introverted, I have very good flowing positive thoughts. Okay, so this law of hypnotic rhythm, if you're not careful, okay, let's say you resent someone, if you speak on that resentment and judgments and criticism is probably the most destructive force in mind, because it cuts another person down. Even if you were to give constructive criticism, just point them to what they gotta fix, but you gotta times it by 3, okay? Because when you criticize someone, you're basically cutting them down. No matter how big it is, within mind, there's only love and fear, okay? It's either constructive or destructive. There's no in between. This is the thing with hypnotic rhythm. There's gray areas, okay, between construction and destruction. There's this gray area, but you're either gonna be on a slope that constructs or on a slope that deconstructs. And a lot of people don't understand that. One negative thought. I learned this in the Bible, okay? When they were like trying to, all these principles of mine are in the Bible, but Jesus was like, they were saying, oh, we can't cast out this demon and this guy, whatever. So he cast out the demon from the guy, and he said something, okay, please mind me, I'm just going straight off of my mind, but something like, when the demon leaves, the demon will see that the vessel is empty. So he'll come back with him and 7 more demons, something like that. And that's how you know the law of hypnotic rhythm. When you do one thing, it's just going to escalate into another. One negative thought leads to another negative thought, to another negative thought, to another negative thought. One positive thought leads to another positive thought, to another positive thought, to another positive thought. These things are always going up and down. In the Hermetica, there's waves. But with your mind, you got to understand this law of hypnotic rhythm. The reason why I'm in shape is because I kind of construct good positive thoughts while I'm going through all of my workouts. I'm the best of the best, the legendary Cheskinteri. I am always on, never off, smooth, fast, moving and grooving. This is why I can say these words and like kind of talk in this positive manner, because in my head I'm just talking positivity all the time. I may seem delusional, but you got to understand everybody is in their own universe. You inverse, okay? And this is how I managed to stay savagely fit at 35 years old, even though I got all these responsibilities. Understand, everything starts in the mind. One positive thought leads to another positive thought. That positive thought leads to another positive thought. One negative thought leads to another negative thought. That negative thought leads to another negative thought. And next thing you know, you're on this downhill slope. Your like back hurts, your joints hurt. You're getting like all these boils, these rashes. You're always getting sick. Congestion is basically congestion of the mind. You're confused. You want to act upon these goals, these desires that you have, but you can't seem to get over this hump because you've built this house of negativity, brick by brick, by one negative thought and another negative thought and another negative thought. You got to be extremely careful with this. This is how I understood it, especially with the Shaolin monks. It's about focus and just thoughts and understanding that you build this house of either glowing aura of positivity, or you just have this dark temple of doom. And you build it through focus, one thought and one thought and one thought and one thought and one thought. Yes, sometimes I made some videos where I was fucking screaming my head off. I had to delete it because it was like I kind of was in this void and I was thinking one negative thought, and one thing will lead to another. Next thing you know, I'm kind of like down here like, how come I feel this way? It's like, because I was too busy thinking of one negative thought. And a lot of times, especially when you're sharp, you have a sharp mind kind of like me, just sitting in traffic and just thinking like, this motherfucker's driving too slow, that negative thought will lead to another one. You have to be fully aware. This is why I like to call myself a martial artist, because once you kind of have a grasp on your mind, that's what it is. It's just self-mastery of your mind. Now, understand, when you're working out, you're shadowboxing, you're jumping the rope, you're doing this and that, you got to have good positive thoughts behind it. This is why, like I said, a lot of people can take steroids, do all these workouts they see in the magazines. They get coached by all these people, yet their results are like minimal. Why? Because their thoughts behind what they're doing. The cause will always start in mind. You think that getting this coach or going into monk mode, that's just effect, trying to change the effect. In order for you to have long-lasting results, in order for me to be this shape and kind of work out like very minimal at 35 years old, my thoughts of when I'm in the moment has to be constructive. And this is the golden nugget I can give to you, all right? So same thing. Now, there's some things that I do physically. I will never stop light jogging and sprinting, okay? Not jogging like fucking 240 miles. No, like just light jogging. In order for me to feel light and just very chipper, you gotta do some light jogging. Just be light. You don't have to wear yourself out and fucking grind your body down all the time. This is why I'm not one of those guys like, yeah, come on, grind hard, because I don't grind hard. I kind of just keep myself nice and smooth. That way, you know, if a situation does come, I'm nice and smooth with it. I'm not just like this, this beast just waiting to just not have any discipline or skill behind my techniques, okay? This is why I can like be really, really sharp, because when I'm jogging or when I'm walking, I practice being light on my feet. When I'm jogging, I'm floating, okay? Now, same thing, jumping the rope. Dude, if you do not have a jump rope, below is the link to box rope, one of the best ropes I've ever had in my life. Just with the handle to the material of the rope, you gotta go get one, okay? And I've made a video about this. I've spoke on it many times. The way your feet contact the floor really tell me a lot about your mood. So if you stomp really hard and you like to wear boots, I can tell you're a firm, kind of strong guy. Like you won't bend on shit. If you're like really light, you're really graceful, I don't really hear your footsteps, emotionally you're very light, you're very graceful. Your feet, the way your feet contact to the ground, it's a moment by moment thing. So something could happen and you could start like running. That's how I know emotionally, like you're anxious, fight or flight. Same thing if you're sad, you're kind of like dragging your feet. So I can tell moment by moment. Like I said, once you understand that the body is a representation of your mind, it's easy to read people. It's easy, okay? I don't like, and you know, when I'm giving you this information, you got to use this for the better, because I operate on certain laws. 3 basic laws, okay? Number 1 is the law of divine oneness. That means everything, everyone is connected. You are these trees, this grass, that individual walking over there. You and everything around you have this thing called the life force of God. Everything is one. It's just different separations. This is what the ego is for. In order for me to know who I am, I gotta be separate from the tree. But me and the tree, the grass, me and you watching this video, we all have the same thing within us. Life, this life force. The law of divine oneness. Everything is mental. So everything does start in the mind, and whatever you play upon in your mind and whatever you act upon moment after moment after moment, it slowly comes into fruition. And then number 3 is the law of circulation. Whatever I put out, I get back. This is why I can kind of like be in shape, because I help you guys to be in shape. This is why I can be positive all the time, because I try to speak positivity in my videos. In my day-to-day actions with my kids, I do my best to restrain myself from fucking lashing out, and because of that, I can kind of honestly say, like, my kids love me, they respect me, they listen to me. Sometimes they may lash out, but I understand it's just a communication error. Whenever they're feeling some type of way, I gotta think, how would I want to be treated in this situation, yet how can I still grow them and nurture them and give them the best outcome? Whatever I put out, I get back, okay? Now, for you, like I said, with your feet on the floor, when I'm being light on my feet, jumping the rope, dude, it's hard to be in a bad mood, man. So get you a jump rope. And then the 3rd one, so there's sprinting and jogging. Jumping the rope is number 2. Number 3 is going to be some type of body weight exercise. It's an amazing feeling to kind of get a good pump when you're doing push-ups, when you're doing, like I show you guys, the towel body weight rows. It's a good pump in the forearms, get a good pump in the chest, in the biceps. And then, you know, when you're doing the body weight squats, you guys saw my legs, man. My legs are not small. And that, just being able to move your body with your body, to build your body with your body, it's an amazing thing. To me, it kind of shows the life force. It shows God that, you know, you're grateful for your body. You can use your body in a manner that will enhance the body, you know, and because you use what you have and what you were given, you will then get more, okay? And this is how you gotta stay fit. You gotta understand everything starts in the mind, and you gotta understand this law of hypnotic rhythm. One thought leads to another thought, and another thought, and another thought, and another thought. When you see extremely like content, fulfilled, positive guys, yes, there's this really big gray area, But it all starts in mind on how they were just positive. And you got to be able to control this thing. You have this life force within you, and you have the free will to use this life force however you see fit. But understand, like with the law of circulation, however you want to use this life force, it's gonna circle back to you. So whatever you put out, you will get back. Do your best not to speak about any resentments. Resentments, criticism. Like when I hear some people, they tell me they have like sciatica, they have back problems, they have knee problems. That's like foundational. Your knees, your back, it's all foundational. If you want to get into the root chakra, this and that, that's like the base of it. And at the base, when I hear them speak, it's like, oh, I see. Some of the greatest people, some like really nice people that I know, they have like these weird problems with their legs, their back, sciatica, back problems, knee problems, ankle problems, all in the joints in the lower body. A lot of them hold to like some kind of resentment. That's a foundational problem. So you got to really dig deep into it. I'm going to make more videos on how you sink deeper into your subconscious mind, how you find all of this crap, all of this junk. But you got to understand everything, your fitness and your health, and you being able to move and groove. Like, bro, when I'm shadow boxing and I'm tired, I'm just like, okay, how do I keep moving and grooving? Pop, 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 pop. Everything starts in the mind. Okay, this is how I stay savagely fit at 35 years old. With that, just always remember, train hard and be kind. Let's go.